Go for it. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Adjustment meeting for the city of Bettendorf for May 12th, 2022. Roll call.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Springer, Tansy,
Here.
Tom Burks,
Here.
Vermillion.
Here.
Okay. This is the Board of Adjustment. We're a body that's appointed by the mayor. Our purpose is to review items that are properly before us, such as adjustments or variances. We normally come prepared to vote on matters before us each time we meet. We have, okay, next item on the agenda is the minutes for April 14th. You've all received those minutes. Do I have any additions or corrections?
No.
Nope. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for April 14th.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the board to hold a public hearing on the following item. Case number 22-024. It's the 2727 Elk Drive. It's an A2. The variance to reduce the required rear yard setback from 40 to 28 feet to allow for the construction of a 12 by 12 deck addition. And it's submitted by Christopher Tesso. I probably killed that, I'm sorry. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Case 22-024, 2727 Elk Drive. This property is located just northeast of the intersection of Elk Drive and Belmont Road. The applicant is Christopher Tieso. The variance is for a deck expansion. This lot is a double frontage lot off of Elk Drive and Belmont. It is located in the A2 zoning district, rural residence. This lot was granted a variance by this board in 2015 for that existing deck. That was a variance reducing the rear yard setback from 40 feet to 32 feet for the construction of that 10-foot by 8-foot deck. That is case number 15-031. As I noted, this is located in the rural residence district, as is the neighborhoods and parcels surrounding it, excepting the parcels across the street in the city of Riverdale. The applicant's lot and structure are conforming in this district, so with the variance and then the structure, they both are at the 40-foot front yard setback and rear yard setback. This lot would be conforming in the R1 district, I will note that, which is a 30-foot setback. The reasoning for this lot being in the A2 district is likely, it was before my time, but it was likely because it had septic and or well on the property. And that is our one residential district that allows for the placement of septic and wells on the property. Today, it has sewer connections, so it no longer has that septic in place. As noted in the case 15-031, this property has some encumbrances on it, including major floodplain, which goes right through the property. When the house was constructed, it needed to meet our floodplain ordinance, which you're allowed to build in the floodplain if you meet that ordinance. Get above the base, 2 feet above the base elevation. I believe at the time it was only 1 foot. And due to that floodplain, and you can note the water source kind of goes like that. The site location of that house needed to be pushed to the very far north of the building envelope. So that's the area where you can build within the setbacks. And so as far north as possible, which really reduced any type of rear yard extensions, including a deck. So the applicant was approved for the 10 by 8-foot deck back in 2015. The applicant cites growing family, wanting a larger deck for that and using in the backyard. So they're proposing a 12 by 12 deck on adjacent to the current deck and off the rear of the house, which would require a 28-foot rear yard setback. You can see the yellow line here is where the proposed deck would likely be, and that setback. This is a site photo of the rear yard from the road of Elk Drive. I will note that the rear yard is, it slopes up, going up a hill, and has some significant vegetation, trees. This was last week. It probably looks a little different now. That conceals the rear yard from the neighboring properties behind it. Taking in the hardship of the site location of the house, and to be out of the floodplain, and that it is it's currently zoned A2, but would be conforming in an R1. Staff recommends amending the applicant's request for a 28-foot and approving a 30-foot, which would be conforming in an R1, which may happen in the future if to be upzoned to that. Having a 30-foot rear yard setback in lieu of the 40-foot required in the current zoning district. The hardships acknowledged are the current zoning classification no longer reflecting the characteristics on the property, and noted that there's floodplain and some topography, and the concealment in the rear yard of this deck would not negatively impact the neighbors. For this reason and the facts noted above, staff recommends approval of this variance request. I can take any questions.
You're recommending approval subject with the
Subject
amendment
to the amendment of 30 feet.
to a
Yep.
30-foot.
30 foot instead of 28 feet.
And your recommendation is based upon the hardship and the fact that it would if it was rezoned, it'd be an R1, and 30 would be the right back.
Correct, yep.
Because clearly their backyard is not accessible by anybody else or anything. Any questions or comments from the commission? Board, I guess we are, aren't we? From the board? Nope. Anybody wish to speak in favor of this project?
Do I need to go to a microphone?
Probably go to the, sounds like, we'll push you all the way to the back there. Yeah, we have required distance there.
That's all right. I'm Chris Tyso. This is my property. I appreciate you guys taking this. As my family is growing, I got a little one at home now. Thank you for looking at the 30-foot for